Greetings, and welcome to A Year of Movies, a Planet Geek production. For this project, we are using the Ivan Walters reference book of 365 films to watch on the day they happened. Each day, we watch a movie associated with the date we are watching it on.
And as it is the 13th of July, we are going to be watching The Gangs of New York from 2002, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. So like every single movie that has Martin Scorsese's name on it, it's definitely a big thing. When you throw in like a Daniel Day-Lewis as one of his big roles in the movie, it definitely makes waves. And then introducing the Leonardo DiCaprio into this first teaming up of director and actor, it definitely makes waves. However, I did not see this movie upon its original release, and I don't think I saw it till much later on DVD or maybe a movie channel of some sort. This would probably be my third or fourth time watching this movie, but technically it's probably only my second time watching from start to finish, as its length is sometimes a little difficult to sit through all in one sitting. And like I'd already mentioned, not only does this movie star Leonardo DiCaprio, but it also stars Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, Liam Neeson, Jim Broadbent, and Brendan Gleeson. Amsterdam Vallen, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is a young Irish immigrant released from prison. He returns to the 5 Points, seeking revenge against his father's killer, William the Butcher Cutting, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, a powerful anti-immigrant gang leader. He knows that revenge can only be attained by infiltrating Cutting's inner circle. Amsterdam's journey becomes a fight of personal survival and to find a place for the Irish people in the 1860s New York. So this movie is gloriously gory. From the opening sequence, which is a battlefield of one-on-one melee fighting and whatnot, is just so fantastic to see. I will admit that, right, Liam Neeson is in this when you hear his voice before you actually see him at the very beginning, who basically, his tragic death sets the whole entire future for his son, Amsterdam. So while he did see the prospects of using him, it was a bit of a unusual maneuver for Martin Scorsese to get Leonardo DiCaprio to play this much of a heavy, dark character, which is at the time is stuff that Leonardo was not doing. But to team him up with his adversary of Daniel Day-Lewis, who, again, this is probably the fourth or fifth movie that has Daniel Day-Lewis in it, and always does a spectacular job. I mean, that goes without saying, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. But the understated role that of Cameron Diaz as Jenny Everdeen is so remarkably refreshing to see. And again, at the time, it's something that Cameron Diaz did not do. She actually didn't do a lot of this sort of acting, which is kind of sad because she puts in a fantastic performance. Now, we are dealing with American actors doing foreign accents, so sometimes it gets a little wonky and whatnot. But at the core of this movie, it's such a fantastic exploration of, at the time, something that I myself did not know about. I mean, I knew about the race riots that went on and whatnot, the hatred towards the newly freed slave black men and whatnot, but this movie brings it to the forefront. This makes you have to look at this, and it is grotesquely violent, but in such a dramatically cinematic way that you can't look away. And again, we're dealing with the creme de la creme. This is Martin Scorsese. This is Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, and the rest of the supporting cast, which don't even that come close to being spoken about in the beginning of this thing. That just the amazing character actors that Martin Scorsese brings together, and how fantastic of a performance he gets from even like the smallest the thing. We got some fantastic pyrotechnics and all that sort of thing. There's explosions. We got some fabulous splurting blood and whatnot. And so it is a wonderful movie that does not seem its length at all. And it's on July 13th, 1863, that the New York draft riots break out. And as the two gangs converge on Paradise Square for a showdown, the U.S. Navy actually opens up with cannon fire. Amsterdam and Butcher try to fight in the dust throw up by the cannon fire, but Butcher is killed by a piece of shrapnel. And this happens about 2 hours and 22 minutes into this 2 hour and 47-minute movie. And when it came to the Academy Awards for that particular season, it actually ended up being nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Art Direction, Best Original Song, Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Editing, Best Sound, and Best Original Screenplay. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this particular episode and look off into the future to see what we're going to be watching for tomorrow, which is the 14th of July, and that is Fair Game from 2010. So until next time, go see a movie.